What if the weakness you feel is not a personal failing, but a carefully constructed illusion? A narrative whispered into your subconscious by a world that profits from your obedience. This is not about motivation, it is an excavation. We are digging for the self you buried beneath layers of social conditioning and quiet self-betrayal. If you can bear the discomfort, if you can allow the unflinching philosophy of Nietzsche to echo in the chambers of your mind, something will shatter. What emerges will not be a better you, but the true you, the one that has been waiting, dormant, for you to stop protecting its cage. Nietzsche offered no comfort to the fragile. His words were a scalpel for those ready to face the brutal elegance of life with eyes wide open, for those who had grown weary of the lies they told themselves. If you have reached that point, if the slow suffocation of fear, passivity, and self-apology has become unbearable, then this is not a transformation. It is a return. Strength was never something to be gained, only something to be uncovered, buried as it was under the sediment of self-doubt and an addiction to comfort. Let us first define our terms. What is weakness? Society suggests it is emotional display, physical smallness, or a lack of discipline. Nietzsche saw it differently. Weakness is not feeling emotion, but submitting to it. Weakness is the outsourcing of your validation to those who do not even understand themselves. It is choosing the illusion of peace over the discomfort of truth. It is the rebranding of laziness as self-care, of fear as humility. In its essence, weakness is not the absence of strength, but the active presence of self-betrayal. The modern world is an engine designed to produce this weakness. Your education trained you to obey. Your culture trained you to conform. Your media feeds you helplessness disguised as awareness. Even those who claim to love you often benefit from your silence, your hesitation. They praise your selflessness, not because it serves you, but because it keeps you predictable, dependent, and ultimately forgettable. Nietzsche saw this domestication of the human spirit. The individual, he wrote, has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. This is a psychological struggle to remain true to your instincts when the world demands you neuter them, to remain dangerous, not violent, but potent, in a world that wants you polite and obedient. Thus, the first step is to understand that you have been trained to mistake weakness for goodness, to believe that saying no is rude, that your boundaries are selfish. Nietzsche inverts this. True strength, the kind that is magnetic and memorable, is born from the rejection of this herd mentality, the rejection of safety, and the liberation from the need to be liked. So who are you without the need for approval? Strip away the filters. If no one needed you to be agreeable, who would you be? What would you say? What would you demand? Most cannot answer, for they have no self, only a mask sculpted to fit in. Nietzsche saw this as the death of the human spirit. The moment you cease to be dangerous, you surrender your power. You feel it already, don't you? That quiet resentment, that fatigue that sleep cannot cure. That is the cost of weakness, of silencing your instincts to keep the surface smooth. You were not born to be soft. You were not born to tolerate everything. You were born to embody something sharper, something primal, not chaotic, but unshakable. The weakness you feel is the result of denying this part of yourself for so long. We are here to dig it out. Weakness lives in your habits, the subtle daily rituals that rot your willpower. Nietzsche said, "He who cannot obey himself will be commanded." You wake and check your phone. You have already lost. You did not claim the day. You surrendered it to algorithms. Every time you react before you create, you weaken the muscle of your sovereignty. Change this. Own your mornings. Before you check a screen, check your posture, your breath. Remind yourself you are a creator, not a consumer. Weakness is in your speech, in how you water down your words. You say, "I don't know," when you do. You apologize for things that require no apology. You are leaking power, and they can feel it. This is why they don't listen. Nietzsche wrote with fire. He demanded not loudness, but clarity. Clarity is a force. It makes people pause. Own your opinions. Say them cleanly. Let the silence after you speak carry weight. Most fear silence. You will not, because silence is tension, and in tension, respect is forged. Strength is not feeling nothing. That is dysfunction. It is emotional command. It is the ability to feel everything and still choose your action. You do not react, you respond. When disrespected, you do not explode. You wait. When you move, it is calculated, surgical. That is strength. Stop saying, "I'm just an emotional person." That is a lie. You are undisciplined. Discipline is not cold. It is clean, precise. It is the difference between crying in a breakdown and crying with purpose. One makes you a victim, the other human. Nietzsche despised victimhood. He saw it as psychological slavery, the need to blame, to wait for rescue, to justify stagnation with trauma. He did not deny pain, he denied passivity. Stop telling your story as a tragedy. Stop reciting your traumas as an identity. No one truly cares what happened to you. They care what you become despite it. If you can become something impenetrable, refined, unshakable, your past becomes a forge, your scars armor. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how, Nietzsche wrote. But your why is not found. It is chosen. You decide it. You carve it into your days. When you know your direction, distractions die. Doubt becomes noise. Weakness loses its grip. Decide now. What do you serve? What do you build? What will you not tolerate? Make it real, written, non-negotiable. If you do not choose a why, the world will assign you one, and it will be weak. You have made it this far. That means you are not like the others who click away from discomfort. Something in you is waking up. Nietzsche knew that weakness is existential, rooted in the quiet agreements you made with fear. One of the deepest roots is the fear of being alone. You have spent your life trying to belong. School, friends, family, they all trained you to suppress what is inconvenient, to be agreeable. You became addicted to acceptance, not love. But Nietzsche would say you must be willing to stand alone utterly if you are to know yourself. Belonging has a price, often paid with authenticity. You will now unlearn this addiction. You will not beg for a seat at the table. You will build your own. If no one joins, good. More space, more clarity. This is the upgrade. Solitude over submission. Why do you procrastinate? It is not laziness. It is a hidden loyalty, a subconscious contract to stay small so others won't feel uncomfortable. You learned that shining too brightly made people pull away. That ambition came with loneliness. So you learned to dim your own light. That is not laziness. It is a survival mechanism that has outlived its usefulness. It is time to break the contract. You are not here to be tolerated. You are here to be felt. That requires intensity, decisiveness. The snake which cannot cast its skin must die, Nietzsche warned. That is weakness. The refusal to evolve for fear of who you might lose. Shed the skin. The people pleaser, the second guesser, the overthinker, let them die. Get tactical. Start with your language. No more, I don't know when you do. No more maybe when you mean no. No more sorry for existing. Speak clearly. Don't soften. They will call you rude. Let them. It is a reflex from those who were used to you being small. Next, your body. Weakness hides in posture. Most people live like prey, shoulders slumped, eyes down. You will change this. Stand like you know you are watched. Walk like you expect to be followed. Sit like you are not asking for permission. Dominate the room not by force, but by presence. Presence comes from certainty, and certainty from alignment. What do you believe in so deeply you would walk away from anything that does not honor it? Write it down. Live by it. Finally, we kill victimhood. When you make pain your personality, you become addicted to weakness. Rewrite the story. Don't say, I'm a trauma survivor. Say, I am a builder of fire. Don't say, I was abused. Words are spells. Speak power or stay silent. You already knew all of this. The real you, the grounded, dominant version, was listening and nodding, remembering what strength feels like. What it feels like to move without apology, to say no with your chest, to sit in silence and feel no need to fill it. This is not motivation. It is home. You are back. But you cannot unknow this. You cannot go back to being the one who made excuses. Now you know better. And when you know better, you either evolve or you lie. So choose. Become the one Nietzsche would respect. Not the loudest, not the richest, but the most real. The one who looks in the mirror and sees no hesitation, only presence. This is your standard now. Guard it. Your life depends on it.